Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, The Intersection. In this video, I will show you how to create JavaFX application, and in this application, we will use a SceneBuilder. So the idea is to create an app for a pizza place. This pizza place will sell online and have people enter their first name, their email, their street address, and their zip code. And based on the zip code, they will have some kind of GSP and they know where the address is or the location of the person that ordered the pizza. And there are three pizza types. We will use radio buttons and three pizza sizes and bunch of toppings and a button. And so in our project, we will use text fields for the names and radio buttons for the pizza types and pizza sizes, and we will use checkboxes for the toppings, and then we'll capture all of the information and display them in a text area. In video one or part one of the video, this tutorial, we will not build the checkboxes or the radio buttons, but we will only do the text boxes, text fields, and then the text area and the submit button. And then in the second video, part two of this series, we will then add the check boxes and the radio buttons. So let's start. First, we need to download SceneBuilder. So go to your Google, type in SceneBuilder. That will take you to the Glow-On website. Click on the Glow-On website, and here's the SceneBuilder page, and here's the download button. Click on download. This is an earlier version and this is the latest version. So get the one that is suitable for your operating system. I'm using Windows, so I will download the 64-bit. Click download and save it where you can find it so you can extract it. Here's the executable download. Click on it and then accept. Click next. So I changed the path to directly to my C drive, and I noted the version because I have an earlier version of it. So I'm going to click next. It will be extracted on that folder. And here's my new folder. It says SceneBuilder 8.5 or 8-5. This is an older version that I have used in the past. So we're going to use, both of us, we will use the latest version. Now we will open our Eclipse. Created the JavaFX project and added the JavaFX library and set the path for the module. If you have this error messages here in your project, that means you haven't watched my first video how to set up your JavaFX and add the JavaFX library, download and add the JavaFX library. You can do that by going to this link to watch this video that you see in the screen. I will add the link to this YouTube video, but this, you need to watch this to know how to set up your JavaFX inside Eclipse. Assuming everything is working for you, now let's add the SceneBuilder to this project. So we're going to click on Window, Preferences, and select the JavaFX node. If you don't see it right away, then you can just type in JavaFX, and here it is. Open it up, and then find your SceneBuilder folder, and then find the executable SceneBuilder.exe. Click Open, and apply it, and close it. So now we have the SceneBuilder added. Go back to your project, right-click on the application, and then New, Other. So now we are going to add a new Fxml document. So highlight the new Fxml document, click Next, and then give it a name. You don't have to do the extension because the extension will be added automatically. So it'll be sample.fxml. If you add the extension here, it will be sample.fxml.fxml. So click Finish, and here is my Fxml document inside my application package. So right click and now open with SceneBuilder. And here's your first look into SceneBuilder. I don't like the anchor pane, so I'm going to get rid of the anchor pane, and I'm going to use just pane because it's easy to work with. So here's the pane, and here's my first pane. Now I'm going to add my title, my pizza place. So I'm going to type in text or TE only here. That works fine. Here's the text. I'm going to drag in my text, and I can just type here pizza place, change its font size, maybe something a little bit bigger, and I can also change its font type, and I can also change the font family name. Then I'm just going to center it a little bit. I'm going to add another text node, double click here and type in order form, and let's also make it a little bit bigger, maybe like 18. Order form. Now I'm going to create the text fields. So I'm going to drag a text field, and now instead of dragging another one, I can just right click and duplicate it, and I can just like move it down like so. I can do the same thing. I think in our example we have the name, the email, and then the street address and the zip code. So let's duplicate that one more time. So this one here, we will type in a prompt text like enter your name. Let's do this one also. Enter your email. So I did that for the rest of the text fields. Now I'm going to add a text area. And I'm going to make this my form, my pane, a little bit bigger. Drag this down like so. And now I'm going to add a button. So I'm going to type in button there, and then the button we will have text, submit your order. I can check and see how they look like. If I click on preview, show preview, and that's what looks like. Probably they're like lined up. Maybe I should move this to the right a little bit. Let's if I move it like that a little bit. I go back to preview. Yeah, they look like nice. Maybe I'll just move also the submit your order button. So having done that, now I need to give these text fields names so I can use them in my program. So if you look here, there is a code, and here's what I'm going to name them. So the first one will be name, second one will be email. So let's do one so you can see it. So the first one is txt name. This one will be txt email. So I named the text area output, this one zip code, this one txt street address, text email, txt name. All right, I don't need the titles. These are all good. Let's do the submit button. So this is button btn submitted. Okay, so in action we will do, when we click on the submit button, on action we will call a function to gather all the information in these text fields and display them right in this text area. So let's call this action use btn submit. It's all okay. So in action, when we click on that, we should see display all the values right in this text area. Let's add one more thing right above these two. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this text and put it right here. Change this to order information. Now I'm going to show you how quickly to create a controller class from the SceneBuilder. So I'm going to click on view, show sample controller skeleton, and let me select the comments so I can see the comments. Copy, And notes here is the assumption is the class controller. Controller, please provide a controller class name. We are going to give it our own name. We're not going to use that. Okay, so I'm going to close that. Now, most important thing, I'm going to click File, Save. Once I do this, it's already saved on my sample here. So just open it up. Here you go. Once you save it, it looks like this. I rearrange those so they can be each in one line because I'm going to add a new line here in a minute. But I have to create my controller class first. So I'm going to right click on the application, New Class, and I'm going to name it controller. Click Finish. And here's our controller class. Now I'm going to paste controller sample class that I have copied from SceneBuilder. Please note that I did not copy the name here. I used my own name. So if we go back and show you this, that's the proposed name, but I gave it my own name. Now the only thing you see here still having an issue is this method. So if we click on the error there, you have to import the JavaFX event. So click on that, and here's the JavaFX event application. Now we need to go back to our sample Fxml, and then type here fx colon controller, associate our controller to the application package. So here's the application. That's the package name that you see in here, and then the name of the controller class, which is, we just named it a very simple name, controller. And now we're associating this Fxml to this control. Now we are going to adjust our main a little bit, so it's not a border pane anymore, it's just pane. Let's just fix this a little bit. So our pane root pane space fxml loader dot load main, that's the name of our class, main java main dot class, get the resource sample dot fxml, which is this here. So let's just add the library here. We need to import the fxml loader and also pane. Import pane. We don't have this library anymore. We don't need it. We removed the border pane. So let's fix things up. Now we can test it and see what it looks like. So if we run it, pizza application, let's just change this to be 600 by 600, and then we will be ready to code it. So far we have our main class, or the driver class, and then we have a Fxml document that describes all the object or nodes or controls that we used in our pizza place. And we have the controller class that will, our code, all of it will be here. So our main or driver class will be just like the driver class, just describing the scene or the stage. So let's go to our control class and code our control button. Use button submit function that we created in SceneBuilder. If I click on the button and click on the code pane, open the code pane, you can see we created this method inside SceneBuilder for the ID button submit. Okay, so now we're going to add our code here. So when we click on the submit, we will display the values inside our text area that we called it area output. So I'm going to use the area output text area that I created here, and then get the value, set text. I am going to pass customer name as a string, concatenate to it the value inside the text name that I created also here. So let's test it with one value and see what happens. going to type in my name and then click submit. And here's customer's name is Mohammed B. Let's finish the rest of them. But let me show you something that some of the students, they make a mistake in. I added the other text fields, the text email and street address, and this should be the customer zip code. And I also concatenated a new carriage line. So there's be each one of them in line. But if I do it this way, I will only get the zip code. And I'll show you why in a minute. So let's see. If I run one more time. So I filled in all the information. If I click submit, I will only get the 45402. 45402. Because I have to append the text. The first one will be set, and the next ones will be appending it. So instead of dot set on the next three, I had dot append, text dot append, text dot append, text. Now this will work. So let's try it one more time. So if I click submit, here's the name, the email address, the email, and then the street address, and then the zip code. So you can see from this small project that we have done in about maybe 15-20 minutes that you can separate the code from the layout. The layout is done by SceneBuilder. So SceneBuilder is a good add-on to your Eclipse or Netscape or whatever environment that you are using to develop JavaFX. And you can see the JavaFX is the HTML for Java. In the next video, I will continue with this project, and we will create checkboxes and radio buttons, and we will get the value of these checkboxes and radio buttons. We're going to be selling pizza, so make sure that you join me on the next project. And then on the last video on this project, I'll show you how to change the backgrounds and the colors for these controls or nodes. So I'm going to stop right here. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you can get all the updates. Thank you, and you have a nice and beautiful day. Bye-bye now.